Ciao Juventini of the world, my name is Giuseppe, welcome back on the channel. I hope you're all doing well. You can't imagine how happy I am. Why? Because we started January in a fantastic way. 6-1 against Salernitana in Coppa Italia. Then the 2-1 in Serie A that is seeing us there at -2 of Inter. We're still competing for something that is bigger, and more players are even admitting it. If you want to discover the last one that said we believe in the Scudetto, well, remain on the channel. And then the one of yesterday, 4-0, that is bringing us towards the semi-final against Roma in April. First at home, Allianz Stadium, and then in their stadium. The day after video, you know it, we go into detail about the performance as a team, as a whole. How did we play? Did we really play a 3-5-2 yesterday? Then the individuals who did really well. Who are we expecting a bit more? Who is really the surprising player at the moment? And of course, I'm dreaming about Kenan Yildiz. I can't stop dreaming and remembering me every single time that fantastic 4-0 on top of the hat-trick of Milik. So we'll speak about a lot. And if we have time, I can't promise it now as I'm recording because I don't know how long the video will be. We'll also speak about transfer market because yesterday and Giuntoli and Max Allegri, they spoke. And they kind of admitted that if there is the possibility, well, why not? Let's try to reinforce this with the big names that yesterday were spoken all over social network. Samardzic, also Ederson from Atalanta. We already have an answer from Atalanta, so pay attention. And then another player from Nottingham Forest. If we have time, we speak about Mercato. If not, we'll do a second video today, later this evening, speaking about Mercato. Anyway, it's time to start, of course, asking you, as usual, to put a maximum like of today's video. Don't forget to subscribe. You see it here. The table is beautiful because not only Juve will play against Lazio, but on the other side you have a semi-final between Fiorentina and Atalanta with all the bigger teams that are already out. Of course, Lazio game will be tough. It will be a total different game as the one against Salernitana, a total different game as the one against Frosinone, with two teams lower ranked in Serie A that were also playing with a lot of rotation. I believe that in this semi-final you start and all the teams are starting to play their real team because the trophy is really near. So pay attention, but that's something that we will have to speak about in the future because the games will be played, as I told you, in April. Yesterday we celebrated, today we rest, we analyze, and then from tomorrow on, when we start again the training session, we are thinking about the game of Tuesday in Serie A against Sassuolo. We don't have to forget, it's the only team in Serie A, but also in all the competition this season, that was able to beat the Bianconeri, so we have to pay attention. They are not in a fantastic moment, like they were not in a fantastic moment before playing against Juve in the first round. So we really have to pay attention to the Neroverdi, because it will be a tough game that will be totally different as the two last games that we played in Coppa Italia. Tutto sport. Milik fest. Why? Because yesterday with the hat-trick and even a fourth goal that was cancelled for offside, and it is what it is, we have to accept it was offside. It was yesterday the party of Milik. Milik that before the game received the question, how much are you missing the goal? How much are you missing to score? And he said a lot. I really miss the goal a lot. I am a striker and I want to score, of course. Well, after the game, he came again at the same microphones of Gianni Balzarini, telling him, yes, I'm happy, with a big, huge smile, because yesterday he did a fantastic performance. At a certain moment, he didn't receive the ball from the referee. You know, when you're scoring a hat-trick, you receive that ball. He had to go himself, but he really wanted to take that ball home. He went, and then he also made sure that everyone was signing the ball. Beautiful memory for him, but also for us, because you know it, these kind of things, a hat-trick in Coppa Italia, it's not that it's happening every single day. The last time that it happened was Alessandro Del Piero, 3 goals in Coppa Italia against Fiorentina with a F, Frosinone with a F, not the same level, but anyway, we are quite happy. Yesterday, he was there, Milik, really beautiful, eh? The penalty that he's taking was perfectly executed, then that control on a pass of Weston McKennie that was fantastic, and scoring a double with his left, and then the third goal that was really a gift from Locatelli. A Milik show, la Juve vola, Milik show, Juventus is flying. Micidiale, Milik was a... micidiale. Look it up on internet because it's a beautiful word that I don't know how to translate. But he's back and he says, I'm extremely happy to help the team. And I love these kind of words. I'm happy for myself that I score because I'm a striker, but especially also that my goals, my contribution is helping the team to reach objective, because let's not hide it. If there are still some people that are hiding what is happening in Serie A and the real objectives, well, in Coppa Italia it is clear, and as I said by everyone and admitted by everyone, it is one of our objectives, and the performances like yesterday, they are extremely important. Why am I telling you that it's extremely important to support everyone because we see it clearly. Yesterday, that third goal, especially at the 48th minute, we just started the second half, is coming from a fantastic support from the entire team. High pressure of a Locatelli that usually we see as a center back next to Bremer. This time we saw him up front, taking the ball with a lot of cattiveria, with a lot of anger, with a lot of will to recuperate that ball, and he could have gone with a goal. He could have gone with a shot on target. He could have taken his own initiative, especially in a 2-0 in the beginning of the second half. He saw Milik and he gave him that fantastic assist. And Milik, after the game, on the microphone, he said, I also want to say thank you to Locatelli because we are extremely good friends. We have a good relationship, and that's probably why he gave me that assist. But it's beautiful. He knew, Locatelli, that he had to be the evening of Milik, and he wanted him to score and to continue to score because we need strikers that are not there with 0 goals, with 2 goals, even if they are sub players, even if they are rotational players. The strikers of Juve, they need to go to 5, 6, 7. And yesterday Milik did extremely well. Well, it was not only Milik, I told you. It is Milik, it is Locatelli, but in Gazzetta dello Sport is speaking about a maxi Juve, a huge maxi Juve. And we have to say that a lot of players yesterday, they did extremely well. We spoke about Milik, we spoke about Locatelli that played a bit more advanced yesterday, especially in second half. There are other players that I want to mention. McKennie, that yesterday on social media, it was the joke of everyone. There were some Photoshop editing or IA or AI, whatever, things with him with the face of Pirlo or Pirlo with the face of Weston McKennie. But yesterday, what a great performance of Weston. Weston that did fantastically well. The 2 assists that he's giving, the first one is still here, fresh in my memory, because he's trying to find the possibility to go on target with his right foot. He's still looking for the goal, which at the moment he's doing everything perfectly. He's assisting, he's playing, he's changing position, he's tactically fantastic, technically really great, but he can't score. But anyway, if he's able to make the other one score, I take them. Well, yesterday he saw with his right eye Milik that was doing a perfect movement. That pass is fantastic, but that other pass for the goal of Yildiz is extraordinary, out of this world. What a beautiful performance from USA boy. Not only him, I wanted to speak about Miretti that yesterday played for the 3rd time in a row a really beautiful game, beautiful minutes that he had at disposal. I told you, sometimes the train is coming only one time and you have to jump on the train, otherwise you miss it and it's not coming. For Miretti, because of the team, because of the injuries, because of some suspension, well, that train came a few times for Miretti. Looks like this time he jumped on it. Now, don't go too fast, because in the 3 games that he played, we have to say that 2 of them were a bit more easy. Why? Because Juventus, I will go towards the details in a second. Well, Miretti played against the Salernitana, that was with rotational players. With Frosinone, that was with rotational players. But especially the intention of Juventus as a team was to offer football, to play in a different way, risking a bit more, trying to show on the field that it's not only balanced defense, but it's also balance and attack, and trying to build the game, which we had a lot of difficulties to do in Serie A until today. It's much more easier for Miretti to play these kind of games where he has the space, where he's able also to play a 1-2 passes, to try to find the space to go in. He's taking that penalty, for example, in the first half, thanks to him. It's not the first time, because remember what happened in the Salernitana game. So a Miretti that is growing a lot, and I'm extremely happy for the performance. On the other side, if you see, he was, except of Mattia Perin, he was the player that missed a lot yesterday, because he had a 72% of pass accuracy, which is extremely low. The field player with the least pass accuracy. Why? Because on 32 passes, only 23 times he was able to succeed. What does that mean? That in a way, when we are playing with Miretti and we are playing these kind of games, he's much more involved, he's there, he's present, he's creating a lot, he's taking some risk, he's playing vertically, because we can play also vertically, not only horizontally and trying to go with all the team up front, but trying to play also faster, taking this risk, but a lot of time is missing, which you can't allow yourself to do in Serie A, because in Serie A we are not there at plus 14 of the second, we are at plus 14 of the fifth, which is already great, but still at minus 2 of Inter. And these kind of things, they are letting me think that not only the team, but also Max Allegri is thinking about that Scudetto. Oh yeah, because otherwise you take a risk. If you're at plus 14 of the fifth, which is your publicly objective to enter top 4, you take a risk, you don't care, you play as we did yesterday in Coppa Italia. But if you're really objective, hidden objectives of the management and Allegri saying, let's try for something bigger, you are a bit more cautious, so pay attention. Another one that I wanted to mention, of course, is Gleison Bremer. What a beautiful performance yesterday again, a wall. The best one of the defense, better than Gatti, better than Danilo. Yesterday he was a wall. Not really that Frosinone put us in danger, but I have a feeling that last season and also in the beginning of this season, I had not yet from Bremer a total security. I had it in some flashes, in some moments, but he's able to transmit it to me, which I'm extremely proud about. And then, of course, we have to speak about Kenan Yildiz. Again, a guy, and I don't want to exaggerate too much, tranquilly, let's not compare, calm, feet on the ground, but now we are speaking about objective things, about facts. Every time that he's taking the ball, he's creating something out of nowhere. Every time that the ball is not even going in his feet, but arriving in the zone that he's playing, you're already standing up. You're already alert. Your eyes are going bigger. You're here. You're putting your 2 hands on their chair because you want to make yourself bigger to understand better what is happening. You want to watch. He's exciting. He is exciting. The emotion that he's able to transmit me, but not only me. The entire Juve world is incredible. Even the non-Juve fans, they start to understand, mamma mia, what a player. Yesterday, Liverpool fans, they were starting to say, he is great. We want to sign him. And no, you don't sign nothing. Kenan Yildiz is not only the future of Juventus, but is already the present. A present that is starting to really deserve. The level of difficulty of that goal is incredible. A normal player, he controls that ball into the box because he was alone, could have controlled it with the exterior of the right and then trying to shot or with the left or stopping the ball, going with the right side of the foot. He's going with a fantastic, beautiful, difficult coordination, going with a difficult foot is his own foot, the right one, the strong one, but in that way, normally you go with the left one. He went for the right foot, which is extremely difficult. I don't know if you realize how difficult the gesture is, but it looks like it's easy. It's making it look a really easy goal. And not only the goal, also the way that he's playing. Yesterday, in the beginning of the game, during the watch-along, I asked Kenan Yildiz to play with simplicity. We know that he has the skills. We know that he can dribble. But playing with simplicity is the top thing. If you are able to play and to show simple things in a perfect way, then you're there. Then you're there at this level. And that's what he was doing. At a certain moment, he did something that the last time I saw a player doing it, it was Paulo Dybala, controlling the ball with the right foot. He was on the left side, you remember? Controlling the ball with the right foot, dribbling his man, but in a really short space, not easy for a 185 centimeters player. Dribbling his man in one touch with the right foot and immediately with his left putting the ball over on the line in the wing to actually make Kostic, or I don't remember, I believe it was Kostic, to make him run. The velocity of thinking, the velocity of coordinating his body, boom, boom, was really beautiful. Now, can we say more about Yildiz? I don't know. But I can say something about Juventus. And Juventus, not with a S at the end, but with a Z. Why? Generation Z. Yesterday, 8 players that were born after the year 2000 played in the game. Yesterday, 8 players after the year 2000 played in the game. And you know what? It looks like, especially in the starting team, that we are looking with nearly a starting team, which means that Juventus, they invested a lot 5 years ago, 6 years ago in that Juve under 23 project that after that became the next gen team. Well, we are speaking about Generation Z. These players, they are here now. And I already told you a few weeks ago, all of this happened in the biggest silence, where a lot of Juventini were giving up on Juventus, a lot of Juventini were criticizing, a lot of Juventini were giving up their faith in a short, medium and long term reborn of Juventus. Well, Juventus is starting to have that rebirth and we see it. Miretti, Nicolucci that yesterday entered really well. Cambiaso, also him born after 2000. Ealing Jr. that is about to extend his contract for until 2028. Joseph Nonje, that we don't speak enough about, that is a fantastic young midfielder that is growing in the trust and in the head and in the heart of Max Allegri. How even Dusan Vlahovic, born in 2000, that yesterday didn't enter really well, but who cares? We can say that we are speaking about the Juventus that is actually, after a few years in difficulty, we are starting to see them without even mentioning the players that are on loan. Here's something that we don't have to do in the moment that we are in today. We are in a winning streak, we are in a positive moment, we are at -2 of Inter, we are in the semi-final of Coppa Italia, we are there aligned for all our objectives. And you see the unity. I told you about that pass of Locatelli, I told you about so many things. Don't do this. Don't put yourself, or don't start to invent yourself, toxicity when we don't need it or when they don't exist. This is the thing that we don't have to do. Don't start criticizing a player that will miss a pass, because it will happen. Don't start to do what the Roma fans did for Huijsen after one penalty goes for an 18-year-old kid, because these moments of difficulty will happen. And sometimes, unfortunately, it will also happen that these mistakes, they will actually make us losing points. But also, don't start to create inventions. Yesterday, someone told me, with all the respect of course, someone told me, I don't understand why Kostic is allergic to giving passes to Yildiz. And I was really curious about that because I couldn't sleep. I was thinking about it. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe I will go and I will watch. I watched actually the player that Kostic gave the most passes to after Danilo with 8, because they are playing there, was Kenan Yildiz with 6 passes given to him. So 8 passes to Danilo, 6 to Yildiz. So if you're looking at the stats, Kostic is looking for Yildiz. And that's why I thought, why is he allergic to give the ball to Yildiz? It's not really what I saw yesterday, but I wanted to control. So don't try to start having, you can speak about the level of playing time of Kostic, that according to me yesterday was a bit better. Not yet fantastic, but a bit better. But don't start to create crazy things, otherwise we will go crazy. But anyway, it's also the Juve of Max, l'Italia di Max. Max Allegri, we know it, He wants to go for a 5th Coppa Italia because he would be the king of Coppa Italia if he wins it. L'Italia di Max, Coppa, 3 di Milik, hat-trick of Milik. Allegri is in semi-final. What was the Coppa Italia of Max? The way that he played yesterday. Starting 11, we played nearly with a starting team, which shows that he also wants to win that competition. Yesterday, we didn't play a 3-5-2. I already explained it after the game in post-game live. We played yesterday with a 4-3-3, with Kostic on the left side, with Gatti on the right side, with Danilo and Bremer as 2 center backs. Danilo a bit more on the left, Bremer a bit more on the right, where he's feeling a bit more comfortable. Miretti, Locatelli, and one between Weah and McKennie were going to support that 3-man midfield. With one between McKennie and Weah that were going a bit more up wide on the right side, with Yildiz on the left and Milik. I was about to say Dusan Vlahovic, but Milik up front. That was a real clear 4-3-3. And in second half, instead of changing ways of player, no, he played with different players in different positions. We already spoke about the fact that yesterday Ealing was tested again as a mezzala. What better moment to do it when we are winning 4-0? That was the moment. He believes in Ealing as a mezzala. I don't believe at the moment in Ealing as a mezzala, but I don't see Ealing every single day. He has that idea that he can play as a mezzala, and he's testing him in that moment. Yesterday he played a bit more defensively, Ealing, but I really appreciated that that's the moment where he's convinced about an idea and he's trying it. On the other side, I don't know if you noticed that one, but Cambiaso, when he entered, it also played as a mezzala. On the right side, you clearly see here on the map, he played in that position. Why? Because he's a player that can offer it. We know it. Cambiaso can play on the left, can play on the right, can play more offensively, can play more defensively, but he also can play as a mezzala, which I asked him in an interview, is it a role that you see yourself in the future? And he told me, Beppe, but actually when I was younger, I was playing as a mezzala, and later I became a wing player, fullback, offensive winger, whatever. But actually that's my original role. So I have these skills and I master the way of positioning myself in the middle of the field. And that's also an important one, because Mercato probably will not speak about it today. But if we don't have midfield, we have to find new solutions. Nicolussi is now tested at a vice Locatelli. Miretti can play instead of Rabiot with the same way of going up. Well, we also need other solutions, as a young Nyonje that is always playing a bit more on the left side of the field, like a Cambiaso that is now for the first time playing as a mezzala on the right side, like a Ealing. Let's see if it will happen or not. On the other side, the teams, they know that we are weaker on our left side, and yesterday, again, Frosinone, they tried, it was without success, but they tried to play more on the right side of their field, so our left side. So pay attention, because the teams, they know where we are weaker, and yesterday we worked on it. Yesterday, 400 bench for Massimiliano Allegri. Congratulations. Top 3. He was already top 3, but reaching 400 appearances for Max Allegri is something phenomenal. Before the game, there was the question to Cristiano Giuntoli about 400 benches. He said, 400 benches is legend. He's a legend of this club, and we are extremely proud to work with Max Allegri and to have it with us. Will he arrive to 500 at Juve? Well, maybe even 600, maybe even 700. He has no limits. Big words of Cristiano Giuntoli. It doesn't look like at the end of the year the relationship will stop. The relationship, if it will stop, it will be more from Allegri side than from Juve side. I don't know if you will be happy. I don't know if you will be unhappy. I don't know, but these are the realities. At the moment, until the end of the season, everything is extremely solid, and Juventus may be looking to continue with Max Allegri. That is showing actually great things on the field. Did he speak a lot about it? He said, probably Giuntoli exaggerated a bit, going to 500, 600, 700. My idea now at the moment is thinking about Sassuolo, that we don't have to forget, well, they were the only team that were able to beat us this season. 21 minutes. There are some true things about Samardzic. I tell you about Ederson so that you don't have to wait that second video. In a few words, then we'll go in detail. Juventus, they wanted and they tried to enter negotiation for Ederson, player from Atalanta, but Atalanta immediately said no. They said no, we don't want to sell him in the winter. We don't want, even if we want to sell him, it's in the summer and for much more money. So at the moment, the Ederson is, forget about it. Samardzic can be real, can be concrete, with Juventus thinking about the summer, while the player, the entourage of the player, even with Udinese, they are thinking about now, about the winter. So pay attention to that one, we have to pay attention. And then there is another player that has been monitored by Juve from Nottingham Forest. It is the Belgian player, Mangala, from 25 years old, that I don't know a lot about, so I need to investigate on that one. But the good thing is that Giuntoli and Max Allegri, both they said, look, we are okay like that. Mercato, we still have a lot of days because it will end at the 31st of January. If we need to take someone that will put the balance of the team in danger, we don't. If we have an opportunity economically and that is reinforcing the team with characteristics that we need, we could potentially go for it. So will we go for a midfielder, yes or no? We will try. We will try. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed the video. Grazie, forza, Juve.